Hi, this is Dave Adams. Taking a look at today's chart, I thought I'd kind of lay it out a little different so you could see really how I trade. You can see one of my primary interests in trading is on the CCI. I'm using a 10 period today. It's plus 100 and minus 100 of primary importance to me. And then, of course, the crossovers on the stochastics. Uh, are what I like to use for confirmation. This is the MACD. I have it set kind of weird at 5, 35, and 5. I'm not sure you'll see that very often. Um, I adapted. I started using that configuration. It's out of Bill Williams' book, and it's kind of nice for real short-term trading like I do. You see a trend line today. It just basically was straight down, and earlier in the morning, you can see that it was much higher. I wasn't up trading at 5 o'clock this morning, but there was quite a bit of action to be had. It's good to note too, by the way, that a lot goes on from about 5 to 8. A lot of traders get in there, and there's a lot of activity. First trade was actually a little earlier than I like to trade. You can see right here I have it highlighted. I had the pointer on it. It was a fairly easy one, and I took it. It's earlier than I like to trade. Really, I usually like to let it go. Uh, so I threw judgment to the wind, and off I went. Turned out to be a pretty nice trade. Again, there's a doji, and that pretty well ran me out of it. I was pretty sure from the morning's action that the general trend of the day was going to be down. Again, it's important to read the charts, make sure that you trade the chart and not what you think is going to happen. But my general feeling was that there was going to be a down day, so I was kind of hesitant, especially initially, to take any long trades. Here's the second trade I took of the day. I know it's a short trade. You can see right here. They got the CCI line is penetrating the minus 100, going down. Great confirmation on the stochastic. It turned out to be a nice little trade. And then there was a long trade there, and I couldn't help myself and took that. Immediately went down. Thought I was going to get stopped out. Managed to avoid that. Picked up a little gain. Uh, Again, we're back. And at this point, I'm really convinced that it's going to. The market direction. I really is biased towards it going down. Here you can see a crossover on the stochastic at the bottom there is confirmed just moments later on the next bar, actually, on the CCI. I took that trade. It was a small gain, nothing to get excited about. Whenever I see these real long, I don't know if you ever notice this while you trade, but whenever I see a real long bar down like this, um, uh, a lot of times I look for a recovery from that. Usually the market doesn't really like real long bars down. You can see it happened here, and the market recovered it before it started its way back down, and got another big sell right here. So I got myself thinking that'd be alright to take that long trade, which I did. I got in a bar late and missed some of the gain, but it came out okay. I got out on this bar right here. And then there was one other trade, and there was this big short trade. You can see it right there. I stayed in it as long as the price action stayed below the trend line. I felt pretty confident that I'd be okay, and I was, and I rode it all the way up till about 3 o'clock. Turned out to be a pretty nice one. I don't always use trend lines, but if I, if I feel like, you can see it's one of those days where the market just keeps stepping down, and I think I drew the trend line in about right here. Actually, is when I started, saying, hey, I think it's going to stay. It's going to stay this way today. So, and if you can get in a trade and stay below the trend line, especially I don't work with the range usually. I just work with closes, and it kind of fiddled around, but it stayed, right underneath the trend line the whole time. So I felt good about staying in the trade. I just, matter of fact, I watched TV and just kind of followed it. Kept moving my profit target down a little bit as I went. The thing that I wanted to emphasize today is, at least with the technique that I use, um, uh, I'm really interested in these this plus 100, which is right here, and minus 100, which is right here. I'm very interested in getting some confirmation off this stochastic indicator, and I set that very, very short compared to most people. I use a setting of 533, and you have fairly remarkable accuracy. Using this is a very simple system, but I learned a long time ago. I've tried 10 or 12 other ones, and for just scalping like I do, it works real well. A lot of my exits, I look at this divergence bar, or divergence line, I'm sorry, and this basically is measuring the divergence between the long and the short on the MACD. Obviously, the farther you can see it, the farther it's outside the divergence. Um, the more intense the movement is, either up or down, depending whether it's above or below it. Here you can see it gets way up inside the divergence. Yeah, the MACD also gives you a great idea of how the market's moving. You can visually look at it and understand very quickly, the dynamics, of the market. Um, Now, another thing I looked at pretty close today, this stochastic peaked out right here, and this is the longs. They just gradually died out, and so I felt real confident staying in the trade. I hope that explains a little bit of what I do, and hope your trades went well today, and have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.